Hey, good day. Welcome back to Auto Transport Intel. I am your host, Jay. This is State of Car Hauling Address, which means it's noon Central Time, and today is Wednesday, April 29th. So let's take a look at the news. I've got Ty standing by with me here. Let's see what's going on. We're going to just jump right in. We got, and then we'll talk about the show last night. We got the FMCSA working toward administering tests to truck drivers. I think that's a pretty good idea. Again, whether you believe it or not, the coronavirus. In fact, I don't think there's hardly anybody left that doesn't believe that we at least have something going on. And I mention that because it's important, because there was a time where we had a lot of people that weren't sure if there really was anything going on. So we're coming to realize, yep, we need to take care of ourselves and stay safe at some point. Now, as we try to get back to normal life, and again, I'm sharing news stories online because this is all stuff I opened up this morning. Texas restaurants, retailers, other businesses reopening Friday. Texas seems to be leading the charge into what many states are knowing as phase 2. This is interesting. Parties of 6 or less, disposable menus, limited capacity. Retailers, here's a guideline, 25% capacity in most shops. If there's in rural, they can do 50%. Not sure how you monitor that or enforce it, but the guideline is there. No dining areas, no play areas. Restaurants can have dine-in, but again, 25% capacity, 50% in rural counties. Bars are to remain closed even if they offer food. Valet, not available to most people. Movie theaters actually have the 50 or the 25 and 50 rules, but many chains won't open until the summer. Outdoor sports, here's an interesting one, can only play sports that don't include contact with other players, and only 4 people can play at a time. So I guess that leaves you with like tennis and golf. Talking about churches, museums, etc. Now, California, they're also talking about a reopening phase plan. Bigger, I think there's more at risk in LA as far as, like a big city like New York. So they got a lot happening there. It gets pretty detailed. But here, this is interesting. A judge has blocked the 30-day extension in Illinois stay-at-home order. So here we go. People have been talking about, lawyers getting involved and whatnot. Same response there in California, that a GOP chair, he's blasting that, in fact, there isn't even going to be enforcement of many of the things said. And which, again, why have a law if no one's going to enforce it? Dealers. Have you heard this? Dealers aren't letting some customers return leased vehicles. Wow. So this is being reported. That's a tough spot. Your lease is up. You want to return it. Dealer won't let you. They're full. The value's gone down. They'll do anything to get you to take a lease extension or a payment deferral. And if you don't want it, man, what do you do? I watched a video on YouTube about that. Ford, GM, FCA under the gun to rebound before cash dries up. Oh yeah, the headaches of being an OEM right now. Because even if you start up again, you got supply chain problems, you've got all of the employee worker safety. You can't go back to full capacity. What do you do? But what you do need to do, stay tuned to autonews.com. Check out the plant closings. Get the list there. Many have no restart date. And then there's May. Gosh, really open May 4th? Man, that's what is that, Monday? That sounds like a pretty tall order. Hey, this is interesting. Ford and Lincoln canceled the Rivian-powered electric vehicle due to the pandemic. Yeah, so there was a lot of talk about the EV startup Rivian. Ford and Lincoln were going to work with Rivian. Now, Rivian, I believe, is still going to move forward on its own plans, but the coronavirus put a kibosh on a huge project, and that was going to bring some more jobs too, which, again, the jobs report is nothing good to talk about. And finally, Dr. Fauci says there may not be any sports this year. Oh man, talk about bringing bad news. That's the last thing people want to hear is no sports. What do you think of all that, Ty? Oh, wait. Okay, there we go. Yeah, Ty.
Hey, Jay. Thanks for having me.
Hey, man. Thanks for joining me today.
Also, before I get into it, I wanted to tell you last night's show was great. The only problem I'm having is I can't find part 3.
Okay. All right. So I'm just want to make sure that I'm on the same page with James as far as the branding of the show, but I'm calling it the good, the bad, and the ugly.
That's ugly was part 3. I guess I missed
the
that.
ugly is part 3 because it gets pretty. I mean, I think that's the right way to brand it because part 3 gets pretty ugly. I mean, if you are a dispatcher, this is a terrible, painful hour and a quarter. I think is how long it is.
Yeah,
painful. Yeah.
Well, I don't know if now's an appropriate time to talk about the show last night.
Sure, absolutely. And before you do, I just want to say, okay, so we got Candy's in here. Thank you, Candy, for joining us today. Carlos Braxton, what's up, ACB Logistics? Mark Superflow is here. Gerard, Danny B, what's up? Yeah, what a show last night. Thanks, Danny. It was crazy. And Bill Bad Apples is with us. And by the way, I have no idea how the thing broke into 3 streams. It's never happened before. But...
Hold on, I might do a live interview.
Oh, okay, cool. Hey, he might have somebody. You know, Ty is a fisher of men, and if he can snag an interview, he'll do it. Oh, we got somebody walking over. They have no idea what they're getting themselves into. Hey, what's up?
Yeah. Got a minute?
Let's see if he's got a minute here.
We're live. Can you see on here? Here, let me get you.
Hey, what's up? How you doing?
This is Jay.
Hey, Jay. How you doing?
Hey, good to see you. We're live on YouTube and Facebook right now, okay?
Exciting.
Yeah.
He keeps up with us. He's part of our gang. Matter of fact,
cool.
we did some coaching, about a year ago?
Yeah.
Cool, man. All right.
Yeah.
Welcome to the gang.
First slow week. What have you been moving mostly?
Mostly, I've been hauling a lot of that new Dodge stuff until it ran out. So now I'm been hunting and packing and finding stuff.
Trying to find stuff.
I got one right now going out to Rolla.
Okay.
Paying.
Bye.
Yeah, it's paying. What was it paying? 89 cents a mile.
That'll work.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Good. Yeah. Now, are you getting that from brokers or Central Dispatch?
This is Logistics or whatever it is.
Metro Logistics, Holly.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Are you on Holly?
Not Holly. It's what's the word starts with an E?
Assertus.
Assertus.
Yeah.
Part of the channel, actually.
Yeah, that's my first load with them.
Oh, good.
Cool.
Keep up with. Let me know how it goes.
Yeah,
because they're a big part of our group, actually.
Oh, okay.
That'd be interesting. Thank you for taking the time, sir.
No problem.
Yeah, man. Thanks for saying hello, dude.
Awesome. Hey, what's this?
What's this?
Oh no!
Yeah.
Wow.
You kids!
What?
You kids! And the horse live.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to get my hand sanitizer.
Inside the trailer.
Yeah, well, I couldn't read it. I was trying to read it through my mirror. I'm gonna catch it before I leave. Thanks, man. I like your hat.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Awesome. That's awesome.
Good interview. I like Dave.
That's
He's
great.
been around for a while. He's a hustler. Good guy.
What's his first name?
Carrie.
Carrie. Okay, cool. I think I heard you mention him
Actually,
before.
up here in KC, he's a good guy. Hey, by the way, look, I'm touching my face.
Oh no! Oh my gosh! Oh, that's it.
Well, it was actually this hand.
Oh, okay.
Not a hand trick.
By the way, hey, Joe McCleary's in here. Hey, what's up, Joe?
Joe.
Thanks for joining the
Who
show.
else is in here? Keep going. I interrupted you.
No, that's it. I mean, it's a small group, and I didn't check Facebook. Even though I tell everyone to start a watch party, I never know. I never know if anybody does.
Bill should have caught that.
Yeah. Hey, and by the way, you know what? Here's what I did want to ask him, but I think we might know this, and I want to hear what people say too. Is that all right? So, like he just said, what he was
Joe.
Oh, thanks. What he was hauling before has slowed down, obviously, right? So what's he doing? Is he working off the load boards? Is that what he's doing?
Well, unfortunately, I think he's
no,
getting
that's
ready
it.
to bump into what most everybody else has been bumping into. I think he's been blessed, and I think that
he's got a relationship.
Yeah, he's got relationships. He's been around.
That's it.
Before this, so he's got a lot of players. He's sharp and guys.
And he networks.
I know we're jumping a lot, but I'm going to go ahead and shift into what's going on the streets.
Yeah.
There's one. I'm at an auction. One truck in the parking lot, and as I'm pulling in, I noticed they've got cars across the street. They're out of space, right?
Yeah.
So, what do we think? What do we do? And you said something on your show last night that really I thought it encapsulated this perfect. You said, you've got this camp over here that really is upset about brokers, load boards, rates.
Yeah.
You got this camp over here that's saying maybe you should go try to find your own customers, right? And you said, why don't we just all come together and have this big angry camp? And I thought that's perfect. I mean, last night's show, having that guy on there, James, I don't know that I agree with him. I don't know if you agree with him. I don't know. But I do know this. If you're for small business and you're putting dispatchers out of work, how are you helping the small trucker guy? Because the small trucker guy is the one that's depending on the dispatcher to help him run his business. So that really doesn't, are you protecting the guys, or what are you doing? I'm not sure. So he's not here. I'm not here. So sorry.
Well, and I'm going to throw this in too, to help his defense, since he's not here, is that many people agree with him. I don't know if they would agree with him for the same reasons, but a lot of people agree with him that dispatchers should be out of business. They shouldn't exist. And the irony is there's a lot of drivers that really, really, really want dispatchers. So if the driver wants the dispatcher, which a lot of people don't even believe, they act like I made that up. And I didn't make it up. So I don't understand, and I don't understand a war against a job.
So if I don't get it. If I'm a one truck Chuck and I'm driving down the road and I need a dispatcher, and somebody that has nothing to do with this calls me and says your dispatcher's illegal and you can't have them, I'm going to call this small business. What was it again?
Small Business in Transportation Coalition.
Okay, and what does it do?
They promote and protect small businesses.
Okay, and I'm qualified as a small business, one truck Chuck.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm upset because somebody's deciding that my dispatcher, a very important part of my business, is not acceptable. So now I'm upset. I'm going to go Google and I'm going to find out, here's the
SBTC.
Here's the SBTC. They must care about me. I'm going to give them a call. Hey, there's this group out here that's trying to mess up my business. Help!
And they might say, yeah, that was us. I mean, I don't know. I'm
not sure.
He's not here to defend himself, and I'm going to bring him back on the show later on. I mean, it's not scheduled, and I think he'll come back, and we'll do that in like 6 months. But the point is that this is really important, because that letter, his part 3 of evidence of why he has the information correct, is a letter that was sent in January from, it's called the Mullen letter or whatever. And again, James is not alone in celebrating this victory that this letter proclaims that all dispatchers are, illegal and thieves. And so there's a lot of people that think that dispatchers should be out of business. It's wild. I find it wild, actually. It's really weird. Because, again, the problem is illegal brokering. And illegal brokering doesn't contain the word dispatcher. And when carriers engage in illegal brokering, nobody talks about that. I mean, a couple people do, because that's where we should focus. So illegal brokering is what we need to focus on, not dispatching. So it's bizarre, and it's really important that we talk about these things, because you could see it in the live chat. There were people that thought that this was brand new information. This is not brand new information. This information is so fermented that the letter from the lawyer could be in the mail.
Yeah, I don't know. Just something about it didn't feel right. Just being honest.
I know. Well, it doesn't feel.
Back on. See if I can come back on as part of the interview. I've got some questions.
Hey, and there's another thing. We believe in capitalism. We believe in free enterprise. And we also are a country of laws. But, laws do come and go. So do countries.
Absolutely.
I mean, and it's funny. When we look at politics, we're like, oh, well, we don't believe in this. We don't believe in that. I don't know, man.
Okay.
I'm not sure. Sometimes I'm not sure as a whole that we all believe the same thing.
Right. Clock's ticking. So here, what do I see on the streets? A whole lot of nothing. What are you worried about? Here's what I think. Okay. And this is really hard. I spent all day yesterday really wrestling with this, and I finally landed on it this morning.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with, I believe in the president, this Randy Wills, Midwestern. Randy said this on the show.
This is pretty good.
I'm gonna trust my gut. I'm gonna believe that my president has my best interests at heart. That's hard. That's a stretch. But if you can get to there, we're good.
I think.
And then if you start what I did this morning, this is what helped me really solidify this. Remember I sent you that chicken, the Tyson?
Yeah.
Hey, just
Supply
mark out
chain.
where it says chicken or meat, put car.
Right.
And you did that.
Right.
So today there's another, I'm listening to this, and Trump sends out a tweet or something. I don't know what he did, but you guys aren't shutting your meat processing plants down. Did you catch that?
So he said that?
Yeah. I don't know if it was a
didn't catch
tweet.
it.
I don't know what it was, but he's
If
saying
it was a tweet, I definitely didn't catch it.
you're
You know what I'm
not
saying?
shutting anything
I
down.
don't have time to keep up with the tweets like that. I can't do
He's
500 tweets a day.
He's using his presidential authority, war, whatever they call it.
Yeah.
And you guys aren't shutting down because what?
Oh, he said that.
Yeah, you're
He's
not.
saying you can't shut down.
Right. So
Wow.
if you follow the logic, what?
Okay.
Why?
Because we need food.
Well,
And we can't. Here's the thing: we can't shut down supply chains.
No.
No.
It's a little deeper.
All right.
It's a little deeper. Do
Oh,
you guys
Trucking
remember
America says
toilet
he signed
paper?
an executive order.
Do you remember toilet paper? Okay, I was.
Oh, I
literally
remember it.
Just
Somebody
at a
has it all.
store- No, I was just at a grocery store this
Okay.
morning looking for paper towels. They got plenty of paper towels. They don't have toilet paper still. Okay,
Wow.
Can you just for 1 minute imagine the regular mainstream media coming out and telling everybody there's going to be no meat on the shelves? Watch what happens now. Go look at the toilet paper pictures. Now go look at the meat pictures. Do you think anybody with half a brain wants to go through meat like we did with toilet paper? No, they don't. Nobody's going to go with it, right? It's not happening. So start shutting it down. Shut it down quick.
Well, I'll say this because I'm gonna say that there's probably some people that didn't follow all that exactly. Hey, what's that? It's Carrie again.
Carrie's back.
Yeah,
Listen, you mentioned meat. All you do is mention meat and toilet paper, and Carrie pops up in the passenger seat.
Hey! That's good. No, so where I'm going with it, Jay, is I'm saying the supply chain on cars is going to be a little jacked up, but the OEM still, just like the meat processing plant, they've got a lot of meat in frozen storage. So don't go throw the frozen meat away. Hang on to it. There's a lot of cars out in storage parking lots right now. A lot. The only place where they're empty is probably the railhead, right?
Yeah, we're pretty low.
Railhead's
Yeah,
looking
right. Yeah,
now,
that makes
why
sense.
we don't know? Could it be for military purposes? Maybe. Could it just be the railroads charge too much and we got to park them somewhere where it's cheaper storage? What do you got?
Joe McCleary says Trump's executive order is saying you can't shut down. There's too many hogs. 13,000 per week need to be slaughtered. They'll be open to slaughter them, not process them into meat for us to eat. So they're going to do the slaughtering. So I think what he's saying is the order is to stay open so we're not just throwing out an important part of the process. What do farmers do with 13,000 a week, right? Exactly.
So draw the connection, okay? We're in the car business. We transport cars. We're talking about chickens, hogs, and cows.
Well, and by the way, this is not a knock against Trump. What I was going to say is that when Trump ordered the OEMs to work on ventilators, I mean, that would affect your business process. Like, okay, not only are we shutting down, but we're going to make ventilators. Man, we're going to be all kinds of messed up when we go back to starting up on cars again.
Right. Well, perhaps.
But I'm sure that was a tough decision.
What was the question we were asking last week? Do we really need more cars? I think that was you asking.
Well, dude, I've been asking this for years.
Do we need more? Well, I think
we got a lot of cars.
I
hate to say that, but we got a lot of cars. You drive by a dealership, full of cars.
Okay.
For years.
So let's go ahead and go back to let's connect all this real quick.
Yeah.
If you believe in the president, that's up to you.
No, I now more than ever, I say, yeah, man, let's see if he can guide us out of this thing.
Well, it'll be helpful to believe in him right now because if you think that the economy is going to go to crash, which raise your hand if you don't think that.
Right.
So if the economy's going to, and he's telling the meat people, hey, whoa, I think he understands what's happening in the car world too. So how's it all going to unfold? Well, in the car world, I see it unfolding like this. The light switch goes, as soon as you hit it to the on, it's go. Now, is that tomorrow? I think it's going to be the first part of May myself, because everybody's had it.
And this is the thing. This gets into what makes it so hard is this isn't just reopening a restaurant. This is, you've got supply chains globally disrupted. I mean, you know, getting the plant going again to turn out cars, that is not a next week deal.
Right. But then you got to go back to, when you say stuff like that, my brain says sovereign nation.
Yeah, I know. Well, but you can't just replace an overseas supply chain process like over the weekend.
Well, you got,
man. Sometimes it's hard for me to get the laundry done.
How long did it take people to make ventilators?
Restart an OEM.
How long did it take him to get ventilators?
I know, but here, well, it's interesting you say that. The reason the OEMs were the ones making the ventilators is they already had some of the parts and the processy. Anyways, I mean, and I'm speculating live, but I don't know what it's going to take for an OEM to get back on track to actually produce vehicles. I mean, can they do it in May? I would say maybe June.
I think the biggest problem here
but they got to reopen first.
UAW.
Yeah.
Well, and we just read that headline. They don't want to go back in May.
Yeah. Why? Start asking a lot of whys.
I actually don't know.
Oh, yeah, you do. It's political affiliation.
Well,
hello.
It's always political affiliation. When in doubt, go with political affiliation.
It's definitely political affiliation.
The whole world's gone crazy. I thought we were going to talk about load boards and dispatchers. We're all trying to figure out how do we get everything back going again. It's pretty wild,
isn't it? I think for the used car, that's where I stay. I'm a used car guy, and now that Kerry's here, he's been hauling a lot of new cars, so we'll ask him, right? He's been doing it about a year, and he's hauled a lot of new cars. Yeah. I'm saying used cars. Soon as the light switch goes on, that auction right there, when somebody says you can have real people come to this real facility, that's when it's going to start.
I agree with you.
For the used cars.
There's clearly a lot of work sitting waiting.
Yeah. And there's this thing called, Trump keeps talking about, it says pent up demand or pent up something. Everybody wants to go back to work. Mm-hmm. Everybody wants to go back to, I need a car. I need something, pair of clothes, shoes, whatever it is. I know I'm ready to go back. How about you?
I'm ready to do something.
Yeah.
Right.
I've been working hard though.
How's so you've been working hard new cars, and so you've been doing a lot of new, and you're seeing it go down.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of new stuff, and it went from 1 picks, 1 drops, full loads, down to picking up 5 and dropping in 5 different places. The load I got now, I got 2 used, and I have 3 new, and I have 5 stops, or 4 stops.
So did you catch that?
I did.
So that's the kind of the decline, right?
Right, because basically, as lots were getting full, as demand was dropping and supply was rising, it was then just onesies and twosies rather than.
So I got a question
groups.
For Kerry. Kerry, how many dealerships, new car dealerships, did you take cars to that they were just packed? How many?
A lot of them, but they all said they're doing good business. I mean,
they're selling online, right?
Yeah, they're selling online. And in fact, a lot of the salesmen said they like it because instead of having 8 salesmen in the building, they have 2. And so everything's appointment. So they walk in and they're selling as many cars as they can.
Which this is what we talk a lot about, because we bring on these digital marketing guys all the time and say they're trying to sell to the dealerships. How do you guys do your digital retail sales, right?
Right.
So there's been the guys that have already been doing this, they're set.
Yeah.
The guys that are like, I don't need that, they got a problem.
All right.
And you've seen that.
Yeah.
Real firsthand.
And no matter where you are, whether you're already in it or you're just getting started, it is only continuing further. And as we see, as states reopen, home delivery, touchless delivery, curbside pickup is never going away. It's now part of our
Are you seeing that
retail experience.
When you drop new cars off, are they doing anything weird?
No, I don't think so. I mean, like I said, it's all by appointment. You got to call in and schedule
Right.
and
It's by
everything.
appointment.
Even to drop them? To drop new for you?
No, I'm not having any problems.
No, and you don't have to wipe anything off.
No. The only
Right.
weird thing is when I went to Odessa, they park all the used cars in a spot for 3 days. They don't touch them. So if you go in, if you look at Odessa, you see all those cars left. Those are all intake, and they're sitting there for 3-4 days.
Oh, that left lane going up the hill?
No, the left side of the building over in the parking lot.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
They're all sitting there, and they can't touch them for 3 days.
It's like a temporary quarantine.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, that's actually a great idea, because that way you don't have to take the time to go through them all. Just let them sit. Because
See, if you go to Manheim out in Kansas City here, they won't let you on their lot. They go get your car and bring it to you, which is nice.
Who's paying? Do we have to pay for that?
No.
I guess Dallas Manheim won't let you in to get your car unless you have a mask.
Yeah.
right.
I mean where's the logic? I'm having a hard time. Look, we're outside. There's a lot of wind. Really?
Mm-hmm.
So here's the question: How do people keep up with all that information? You just kind of word of mouth when you get there, they tell you, that kind of thing?
Well, I didn't know about the Dallas thing until I saw your show last night.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, and which I saw on Facebook. So, right. Well, exactly. So, exactly. You find a lot of those stories and share them with me. So, what's interesting is that it's social media is how we're getting our news.
Mm-hmm.
Because
that's what's great for your show.
It is great for my show. I went to mymanheim.com, and there hasn't been an update there since April 8th. So, Manheim as an organization, and I'm not blaming them. I don't even know how you keep up with all these changes. It's nonstop. You'd have to be like a live web designer.
Well, and then what you are saying, and then we're seeing it live, and I'm sure Carrie is too, you've got every state doing something stupid. Right? So how do you know, especially if you're crossing state lines?
Mm-hmm.
Trying to keep up with that, I think, would be a real nightmare.
Hey, Brian says that dealers I've been delivering to say business is fairly good.
Yeah.
Even smaller lots say they're doing okay. That's awesome, man. Yeah, have you heard? That's why that story about lease returns not being able to turn back in, that surprised me.
No, I've a lot of lease returns.
Right. I wonder where that's why I was cagey to report on that, because what I don't want to do is I don't want to spread like rumor. I'm not into that.
But here's what's weird. It might be one of these where we're all getting duped again.
Dang it.
Let's put out another article that says the world's coming to an end and no chickens or meat.
Why do we got somebody's talking about masks with sheep on them? We should make and sell masks with a sheep face on the front of it.
Yeah, because he's saying we're like sheep. I agree.
We're a bunch of sheep.
We really messed that one up as Americans, but I think we might have a second chance here in maybe a week or two.
Well, it is nice to see. It is good to see like America act like America, isn't it?
I don't think we're there yet.
What? Don't go celebrating.
Yeah, hold up, buddy.
I'll
let you know when to break out the good stuff.
All right. That's fair.
All right. Well, I think we've butchered it about as much as we can.
Great, man.
Stay safe and be American. That's my new campaign slogan. Jeez.
Yeah.
Stay safe and make America great.
And you know what's interesting? I will say this. What's really fascinating is the Trumpness. This seems to be like right up his alley. Because it's all about business, making America great again. In fact, hey, wait a minute. Did he have something to do with this? Because how did he already know to make the slogan, Make America Great Again? I'm just kidding. But it really is an interesting time. And maybe he is the guy for the job. So let's see if he can pull it off.
One of the things I keep trying to throw out there real subtly is having a relationship with God right now is a pretty good idea.
Mm-hmm.
Right on.
If you don't, you might want to think about that. Give me a call or call Carrie.
Mm-hmm.
But you really need some solid stuff in your life right now to get through this. Even if a guy like Ty or Jay says, I think we got maybe a week or two, we don't know what we're talking about. But I think you're always safe with God. That's my opinion.
Awesome, man. Dude, that's awesome. And there's always going to be a couple people that are like, no, I don't want to hear that part of the program, and that's okay. But either way, do me a favor. Because the thing is that we all need something to get through these difficult times, right? Wherever I like to watch movies. All right, I watch movies. I put a movie on like every day. I don't remember. Oh, I was watching something about jazz. And last night I was watching. Oh, I checked out that movie yesterday where the guy plays Beatles songs. I was watching The Falcon and the Snowman before that. Whatever it is, right? Just something to take up the time to get through all this, and and make sure that you're still check your humanity.
Yeah,
there you go.
Right
Check your
on.
humanity.
Check your
Remember,
humanity.
love always triumphs.
yeah, yeah.
It's hard sometimes. I'll be the first to raise my hand, but.
And that's why I did not go after James last night. The guy deserves to speak, and in fact, he's telling us something pretty important.
Yeah,
whether you agree or disagree, we have to keep the lines of communication open.
You did great. That was a great show. Thanks, Jay.
Yeah, man. Thank you guys so much. All right, you guys.
Hey, we just shook again.
Like, I know, shaking hands again, dude. Oh, man, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
man.
Talk
You
to
guys
you.
are great, man. Take care. I'll see you soon. Stay safe.
Yeah. Oh, look out. Brown shirt.
All right, you guys, listen, that's another State of Car Hauling address in the can. I hope it was helpful, informative, and that you liked it. If you did like it, please give a like. And feel free to comment below and share this with your friends. And if you got something to send me, autotransportintel@gmail.com. Now, tomorrow I've got the day off. As far as going live, I won't be live tomorrow. I am going to be live in a few hours with Ryan Girardi on autoconversion.net. Feel free to check that out. Auto. If you just can't get enough Jay lately, check out, I don't know why that would be, but you can go to autoconversion.net and I'll be live. And hugs to you guys. Stay safe. Thank you so much for tuning in. And we'll see you again Friday at noon Central Time. And thank you. Peace.